Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tea Talk 2.0. Hey, 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 hey. As always, I'm your hostess with the mostest, Jessica, aka Tina. And today I'm going to be drinking a classic root beer Olipop. Starbucks now sells grape flavored Olipops and the classic root beer. I tried the grape one the other day and it was okay. But I've also tried the lemon lime one with my cherry tart juice, and I've tried a cherry one of some sort, and it was pretty good. So, I mean, I this one has been hit and miss with the people that I've asked. So we're gonna go ahead and try it today. Give you a little SMR. Cheers. You know what? That's actually pretty good. I was afraid it was gonna have like a weird aftertaste, but this is actually pretty tasty. I'm like one of those regular podcast hosts who drink Olipops on the side while they're recording. Just kidding. I had a backup in case it wasn't good. I've been drinking Trenta black tea with no water, 4 pumps of cinnamon dulce, and light vanilla sweet cream. It's very, very good. Okay, so we're going to get into some things today. First and foremost, I apologize for not having an episode last week. What had happened was I decided to add a lot more things to my already busy plate. And that's kind of what this episode is going to be like. It's an update for y'all to kind of see what's been going on in life. Things have been really good. I've been really happy. I've just got a lot of things that have come back into my life, and I'm really excited for them. One of the things that I'm doing right now, I did volunteer to be a soccer coach for Chloe. And when I tell you, the last time that I played soccer was my eighth grade year. So I was like 12 or 13 at the time. It's the last time I played soccer. So I'm a sports girly, but I don't really remember all of the technicalities of soccer and such. I know more and I'm more confident in like softball and probably even basketball. But they needed volunteers, and I was like, why not? Trying to be an active mom that participates in things for their kids. So I have that going on. And I really just had more confidence to do it because during the summer, I did help coach her softball team. So that kind of gave me a little bit more confidence working with the kids, like her age and stuff like that. So we have been having practices. We had our first practices last week and our first game last week, and we got smoked. But it was really fun because the kids just they have a good time, and I love all of the different personalities, and I love that like I can see the kids doing some things. I'm like, hey, like why don't you try doing this instead and it might help you out? And some of them really like listen and they try things and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you, Coach Jessica. And I'm just like, I got you, dogs. But we are, I mean, it's peanut soccer. It's fine. As long as the kids are out there, they're having a good time. I love the parents of the kids that are on my team. They seem to be really like just vibing with what I've got going on. And yeah, so that's one thing that I've got going on. Soccer. Chloe played in her first game, and I'm not being biased because I'm her mom, but she did a really good job. Like usually she yells at me when I'm trying to like cheer her on from the sideline in any sport or activity. She gets like embarrassed of me. And she tells me that I'm embarrassing. But I'm like, Chloe, you have a loud mom. I don't know what to tell you. But she did really good during her game and she listened and she almost scored a goal. Like she kicked butt. And I'm really excited for her to keep doing this. She wants to practice, and so that's another sport that I have to look forward to her watching. I'm like, maybe I'm gonna be a soccer mom. I don't know. Chloe really hasn't found like her one thing that she wants to do. She's kind of just all over the place like I am. And that's okay. We like to try all the things. Speaking of Chloe, she has also been continuing violin practices at school. She's in orchestra at school, and she's continuing her piano lessons outside of school. And I just spoke to her piano teacher the other day, actually, and she was like, yeah, she told me she doesn't get a chance to practice very often, but she really knows her notes. And I'm like, this girl has her keyboard in her room. She has access to it all the time. She just doesn't practice. But I guess it doesn't matter because Chloe is like a musical genius. Does not get that from me at all. And she played me a song that she learned the other day that she was really excited about. And she knows how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on the piano. And I think it's just the coolest thing ever. And they should be having some like concerts coming up soon, I think. So I'm excited to see how well she does with violin. I don't like to pry and get her to like play for me all the time, like dance monkey dance. I don't want her to think that like I want her to like perform on the band. So I just kind of let her practice at her own pace at school, and then like I don't know, she's just good at so many things. And so like she's just naturally talented at things, and I think she gets bored of it easy because it comes to her so easily. So getting her to stick with activities is kind of a challenge, but I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that she sticks with the piano and the violin and has a good balance between those and like sports. What else is going on? We just had our annual tamale day, our third annual tamale day. Now, a lot of people were a bit confused when we were posting about it on Snapchat. Here's the thing with Tamale Day. If you've ever attended my Tamale Days, you'll know that it is basically a day for us to get together, get really, really drunk, and make tamales. Now, the first 2 years, we failed miserably at making tamales. We all just kind of took the knowledge that we thought we had about tamale making, and we were all just like curious, like we wanted to learn. That's kind of like well, what started it. And when I say we, this is back when I was working at the bank. We I love tamales. Fun fact, I would eat them all the time, every day. During like Christmas season, that is my diet. I'm on tamale diet. I eat them for breakfast, I eat them for lunch, and I eat them for dinner. For breakfast, I have them with an egg on top. For lunch, I have them just as they are. And then for dinner, we'll spice it up a little and add some enchilada sauce, right? So I love tamales. And when I was working at the bank, I don't know, we just got into this conversation one time about how we all wanted to learn how to make tamales. And I'm just like, well shoot, let's do it. Come over, like we'll figure it out. So we just kept calling it like tamale day or whatever. And the people that I started it with, I don't know how it happened. I really don't know how it happened. That first year we got incredibly shwasty pants and we had fun. It was a good time. We watched movies and while they were cooking and stuff. And I think that first year, I can't remember what was wrong about them. They weren't good. They were awful. And then we skipped one year. Um, that was the year that I was pregnant with Sunny and I just had him. So, we didn't host a tamale day, but we did get together and we did something, me and my Chase fam. And then last year we did it again. And it wasn't as chaotic as the first time, but we did get really, really drunk and we messed up something in the ingredients, the masa. Oh, yeah, it was definitely Henry's fault. That's all everybody needs to know. It was Henry's fault that the tamales got messed up last year. But we still had fun and we painted Halloween canvases. So everybody brought their own little canvas and we painted spooky canvases. We put on like a Halloween scary movie or whatever and we hung out and it was really fun. And mind you, Tamale Day starts pretty early in the day. And so we're always usually really, really drunk by like 10 a.m. or we start drinking by like 10 a.m. So by the afternoon, we're all like really, really drunk. And so this year, I was like, mm-mm, we are going to have tamales and they're going to be edible. Also, quick side note for last year's, I remember the pan like didn't have enough water or something in it. I don't know, or maybe it was too stuffed. I don't know, but all we smelled was like burnt. Like my house smelled burnt and they were just bad. So this year I was like, nah, 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 we're going to do this. Now, my mom is like an expert when it comes to tamale making because she makes them every year. It's kind of like her side hustle for the holidays. She makes all kinds of tamales and she sells them and she uses whatever money she makes for Christmas gifts and stuff. So that's kind of been her like little side hustle for a few years now. My mom is like a very, very good cook. People have asked her to cater like for their family parties, even like she's done some weddings. Like she makes some good food. Like if you haven't tried my mom's food, you're missing out. So I'm like calling her. I'm like, hey, I need to know this, this, and this. What do I do step by step? Like I'm like I want these tamales to come out so good. And when everybody came over, um, I was just like, okay, I'm not drunk yet. I'm gonna get some food in me. I'm gonna have a little drink, but we are gonna get down and we're gonna make these tamales. And so it was me, Henry, my friend Jessica Guzman, Squeaks, and my friend Josie this year. And the four of us, got down. We told Henry he was not in charge of making the masa because he messed it up last year. So Josie and Squeaks did like the masa, and Henry and we had Patrick participate also this year. But Henry and Patrick like seasoned the meat and added like the chili and stuff to it. And I was in charge of telling everybody what to do, of course. No, I'm just kidding. I prepped the meat the night before. And then we all just like helped spread the masa on the husks and loaded up the tamales. And then I put them in the pan and got them ready to go, cooked them. Like I made sure I knew like timers were on so we could cook them at the right time and stuff. And finally, third year's the charm. They came out so good. They just needed like the teeniest bit of more salt, but I'd rather them be undersalted than oversalted because it would have been a waste. So, Tamale Day year 3 was a success, thankfully. Tamale Day is really just a time for me to get together with my Chase fam because we just all vibe really well, and that's the only part of the bank I miss is working with those guys. So shout out to all my Chase fam. Love you guys. Love you long time. That was crazy. Um, the the place where I record my podcast episodes, it like sometimes like if I put a thumbs up, like it'll make a. Oh, of course, it's not gonna do it right now. Make a little thumbs up graphic. But I just did a little heart right now, and it made hearts come out everywhere. That was cute. Okay. Anyway, so that was Tamale Day. I did a fun little setup also for Tamale Day. Like I decorated a little cute backdrop and table and stuff. I always make little snacky snacks for people. And what else has been going on? So this episode is kind of like I had it clicked this morning. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about being a jack of all trades. And let me tell you why and how this idea got brought into my brain. I'm driving on my way to work today, but I had to stop at somebody's house to pick up some chalkboards because if you guys don't know, I also do chalkboard art. I had a little side hustle going on for it. But then when I started working at Starbucks, it kind of fizzled out a little bit just because I didn't have as much time and I was really tired. And I do chalkboard still. I just don't advertise it as much just because it's a lot of work. And I am a perfectionist about those things. And so I just want to make sure I have enough time to get boards done like really, really nicely, whatever. Um, Long story short, I don't advertise that I do chalkboards, but I'll do it for certain people that I've done it for a long time. So I went and picked up chalkboards and I threw them in the back of my trunk. And I'm looking in the back of my trunk, and it's crazy because I have a bag of soccer balls in there. I have a speaker, a big like Bluetooth speaker back there. There's like a stroller back there. I've got these two chalkboards. I've got a box full of like party decor stuff. And I just like got to thinking, and I'm like, man, I am juggling so many things right now, but it's like not feeling overwhelming. It's just kind of like a reminder, kind of like I am a jack of all trades and a master of none. Like I like to do so many different things, and I'm pretty like good at a lot of different things. And so that's kind of what I wanted to chat about today was it, doing all the things that I'm doing right now. So you guys know that like I am a mom of two. I have two kids. I have a 7-year old and a 2-year old now. And so I am currently juggling, of course, all of Chloe's activities, which she always keeps me busy. Right now, like I said, she's taking piano lessons. She's got soccer going on. She's in orchestra, but she does that during school. And then, of course, helping her with all of her like homework and things of that nature. And I actually just had her parent teacher conference, and she's like excelling. Like she's smart, and I don't feel like I have to worry about her that much, but I also don't want her to feel like I'm not giving her enough attention to where like she'll start thinking that I don't pay attention anyway, so she can kind of do whatever. Having her be my first kid is still me navigating how to be a parent. So I give her a lot of credit as far as dealing with me and like we're gonna do this, and then me turn around and be like, oh, I'm too tired to do that. So kind of setting us both up for how we're going to be successful as a mom daughter duo is an interesting thing. And then my little Sunny Bunny, he's just the sweetest little boy. um, he has been having a hard time as far as like I think when he knows that I'm leaving him for the day with a sitter, he gets kind of upset and he just wants to be with me all the time. And it's really hard because I think I kind of am getting like in a season of life where I do just want to be like a stay at home mom. And it's really weird for me to say that because I've worked pretty much since I was like 15. And during the last 15 years of my life, I've worked multiple jobs. I've worked multiple jobs at a time. And even when I had Chloe, like I had no intentions or wants of being a stay at home mom. I stayed home with Chloe for about 6 months after she was born, and then I was ready like to find something. And luckily and thankfully, I found my job at the bank. Thank you, Carrie. Love you. But I did that, and I was okay. I had a hard time as far as like people say, oh, I was friends with a lot of stay at home moms, and hearing things like, I don't want somebody else raising my kid, things like that was like really hard. And like some days it got really hard as far as like when I did have like a sick kid, I couldn't like always take off work and things like that. And so, it's hard. It's hard being a stay-at-home parent, but I don't think a lot of people give credit to the working moms either about how hard it is for them to not feel the mom guilt and knowing that like you I've always said that I feel like women should have some sort of skill or knowledge in the back of their brain or just in their like back pocket in case anything were to happen. Like if you have a husband that works and lets you stay at home or, is okay with you staying at home raising your kids, I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. But I also think that you should always have some sort of skill or like little side hustle going on because you never know what's going to happen. And a lot of the time, I think people think like, well, what happens if we, divorce, break up, if he leaves me? And I'm not just talking about things like that. I think it's good to have things in your back pocket for heaven forbid your partner dies suddenly. You know, life is crazy and unexpected things happen all the time. And I know some people don't know what to do, after they've been a stay at home mom for the longest time and then they have to get into like the work field and stuff. So I think just dipping your toes here and there is really, really great. For me, I was thankful to have the job that I had when I was going through my divorce. It really helped me and Chloe financially. And I knew that at that time, that was what I needed in life. And no regrets. I think Chloe thriving in school has made me feel so much better about the choices that I've made this far as being a parent and working. But now, like I said, I am in a different feeling and different season. And being with Patrick is different also because he's always been so supportive of the crazy things and ideas and that I come up with. And, if I ever want to try something, he's always like 100% my support. And he helps me and gives me ideas and input. And I truly appreciate him for always putting up with my shenanigans. But lately it's just been feeling like I want to be at home. Like I want to be with Sunny so much more. And I miss being able to pick Chloe up from school every day. And I want to just be able to not have to worry about other people. Like, I don't like depending on other people to help me. And for a while, things were going really good, and I had a system set up, and everybody was taken care of. But some things changed with like my full time job. And so it's been a lot harder to be a good employee and to be a good mom. And I just feel like I owe my kids a little bit more, weirdly enough. Um, but I know they are loved and I know that they're taken care of. So I have some things in the works right now. I've talked about these changes with a handful of people, but I don't want to talk about it too much because I am scared that it's not going to work out. And usually I'm like, you know, an open book and I'll tell you guys all the things that I've got going up in my mind. But I think right now I'm going to keep this private and then because I think it will work out, but just I have fear. So when it works out, I will talk more about it. But for now, I just have been thinking a lot about how I want to spend more of my time. And and also I think it's because ever since I had my miscarriage, I've been thinking a lot more about like how Sunny might be my last baby. And I don't know. I just don't want to miss out on having those last things with him, if that makes sense. My last verse with him. So I don't know. We'll see where I am in about a month or two. Some changes might be coming about though. Stay tuned for those. But anyway, so jack of all trades, let me tell you about my next thing that I've been doing. I did decide to start working out again, and I am on an 8 week challenge at the moment. I started it last week, and it's an 8 week challenge with Desiree Chanel. She's a fitness coach. That's what she's doing full time now. And I know Desiree fairly well from helping her out with Josie James content. I got to know her a little bit. And actually, she is the reason that like I've gotten a lot better at doing like social media content and stuff like that. So another side tangent. Thank you, Desiree, for helping me out with that. It was kind of like my step in to what content creation is kind of really like more realistically. But anyway, so she is a fitness coach full time now, and she had an 8 week challenge coming up, and I just kept seeing it, and I was just like, you know what, I need to like just balls to the wall do something because I'm tired of huffing and puffing. I'm tired of like feeling like I can't keep up with Sunny because he is everywhere all the time. And I wanted to stop being so afraid of like my legs snapping in half if I tried to work out after my knee surgery. So I signed up for that. But with her, you get these workouts every week. You also get meals to follow. She puts you on a calorie deficit. And so pretty, like, I've been sticking with it pretty well. Um, I thought it'd be a lot harder just because of the fact that I am so busy all the time. So a couple of days I've like kind of not been able to like prepare fully like with my meals and stuff like I'd like to, but I've also been trying to be more mindful of what I'm eating, what I'm putting into my body. Definitely drinking so much more water and like just trying to just be really mindful of how I'm feeling also. Like it's crazy what a difference certain foods do to you. And that's what I've experienced in almost the 2 weeks that I've been doing this. But it's been really good, and the workouts have been great, and it's been a chance for me to kind of like I said, get my body moving again. And it could not have happened at a better time. Like I said, I think there's like a rhyme and a reason for everything that happens in life. And I think it's so funny that I started that 8 week challenge, and the same week I got a message from the lady who owns the gym that I used to teach Zumba classes at. And she messaged me. She just texted me out of the blue. And she said, "Hey, are you ready to start teaching classes again? Or like, is that something that you're wanting to do?" And like, I thought about it for like 0.2 seconds. And I texted her back and I said, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it." Didn't even like question it. I just kind of let my hands do the talking for me with my phone. So yes, I started teaching Zumba classes again. I started this week actually. And that's kind of why I ended up taking a break last week with the podcast because I added, a little bit more to my plate and I needed to take a second and a step back to navigate how and if everything that I signed up for was going to be possible. And the here's the thing, I love being busy and I love staying active and I love just doing all kinds of things. I think me staying busy keeps me from being sad and keeps me from going into like a dark place. And I feel like seasonal depression is a real thing and it creeps up on you really quickly and easily. And it's kind of hard to get out of. And I was starting to kind of dip into a funk there at the end of September, especially, with the passing of my friend and just like the triggers of like Suicide Awareness Month and things of that nature. And I knew that like even these last few months of the year are kind of difficult every year. And it's just a lot of like emotions going around and like for me. And I just want to have things to look forward to. And so I find comfort in doing creative things such as, dancing and making content and things like that. That's how I survive. It's a weird thing, but being busy keeps me sane. It's so strange, but it is what it is. So I started teaching my Zumba classes again, and I got so nervous for the first class. Like I was like adrenaline, like my heart was pounding. I only had one person show up for both classes. I did it on Monday night and Tuesday night, but we danced, and it just felt like I never stopped doing it. It's like riding a bike. That's how Zumba is to me. I didn't realize how much I missed doing it until I was like in the gym, in front of a mirror, listening to the music, doing the moves. Like I just had fun with it. And I miss being able to share that with people. And I feel like Zumba was always a way to create community. And even though the community that I started with in my Zumba journey, I don't really, participate with them anymore. It's still something that I feel like can bring joy and happiness to a lot of other people and bring people together to work on themselves and have that time to themselves that they wouldn't normally get. And I always tell people come do Zumba with me. And they're like, "Oh, but I can't dance. Like I'll just look down. Like nobody's paying attention to you. We're all just there to have a good time, to do something for ourselves and just have fun." And I'm so excited because I forgot that it's like fall break for the local schools here. And so I'm like, oh, everybody's out of town. I had an opportunity to get my nerves out and like I'm ready for all of my regulars to come back. And so I've got some like fun things planned for the rest of October. I've got like a breast cancer awareness week that we're gonna do. I had my girl who Carmen Cordova, who made my logo for both of my seasons of the podcast. And she makes designs for shirts and just other businesses and all kinds of things. Her business is Desert Designs and More LLC. I'm going to attach also, if I remember, the link to order these shirts. So I wanted a shirt for breast cancer awareness for that class. And so she designed me a Zumba shirt for it. And I just love the design so much. And I asked her if I could offer it to, other people so they could order it for class. And so I'll attach the link. She has it on her website. Go order it. And if you do order it by the 15th, come to my Zumba class. So my plan is to like have everybody wear them on October 22nd. It's a Tuesday. And we're going to do like our pink out Zumba that day. So if you want to participate in that, get a shirt. And if you don't want to participate in what you want, a cool Zumba pink out shirt, go buy the shirt anyway. Or just go buy some cool stuff from Carmen because she's pretty great. And then the following week, I added another class and we're going to do spooky Zumba. So I'm going to have my like Halloween like Zumba party I'm excited for. I have all of like the details of this on my Zumba page. And that's like another thing that got me thinking about like jack of all trades is that I am currently managing multiple social media accounts. So I have, of course, my own social media accounts, my personal ones that I just put fun things from my life, no big deal. I'm not trying to like pop off or be famous or anything like that. But I also have the podcast social media. So I have Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for the podcast that I try to keep up with and post on to keep like engagement, like with my followers and stuff. But I also have the TikTok, the Instagram, and the Facebook social media for my Zumba pages, which I'm now trying to get back into. Because what I like about social media is that you can see what you're getting into before you try something or do something. And with Zumba, especially, I think people are intimidated because they don't really know what it's about. And so, if you kind of see beforehand, especially from the person that you're going to be doing it with, I feel like it's less intimidating when you show up. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for, anyway. So, multiple social media accounts that I'm managing at the moment. I I don't know. Like I said, I like creating and I like editing videos. And I was just telling my husband last night that I feel like I've gotten a lot better at it, and it's more fun because I can like bust things out really really quickly. But like also that I want to create things that people are interested in seeing, and just I don't know. I want to create engagement. Like I said, it's like a community thing, and that's what I'm trying to do with the podcast and with Zumba is just create community. I've had a lot of people in the last several weeks, chat with me about the podcast and how they love listening and how relatable it is. And I don't have millions of followers and I don't have millions of listeners. But what I do have is people that hear what I have to say and can take something away from it. And I think that is wonderful. And I think that keeps me motivated to keep doing what I'm doing. I might ramble a bit sometimes and I might not make sense to anybody, like especially if that's not the season of change that you're going through, if it's just like not your cup of tea. But I'm just happy that there's some things that have been hard for me to talk about before that I can finally open up and share my experiences with that will help other people going through those same challenges, same difficulties. It's hard. The world is a hard enough place to live in. And I think if we can kind of let our guards down a little bit more and share our experiences, like we don't have to make it harder for each other. Just make it more relatable, and we can bond and we can help each other out. That's that's what I think community is. So if we're going down the list of things that I'm doing right now, I am a soccer mom slash coach. I am a mom of two and a wifey for lifey. I am currently on my health journey once again, slowly but surely, of course, and with help, most definitely with help. I have a full time job and I have a part time job. I am a certified Zumba instructor. You can catch me teaching classes right now, Monday and Tuesday evenings at JD3 Fitness, Safford location. Like I said, I will plug in the links for my social media pages for Zumba as well. So you can go over there and catch up with all of those updates. I do my chalkboard stuff on the side here and there. I like to plan parties and make decor sometimes. and I manage multiple social media accounts. So if you ever need help with that, like I can try my best and give you some kind of guidance to how I do it and navigate it. And lastly, and most importantly today, I am a podcast host and I love doing everything that I do. I love staying busy, and one day I'll be good at everything. But today I'm mediocre at best. I like to call myself mediocre mom, but you know, it is what it is. I'm happy. I'm thriving. We're doing good over here. The mental health is she's she's doing a lot better than she has been the last several weeks or the last month. So, as always, you guys, I am waiting to hear from you. Things you want me to talk about, things that you have questions about, let me know. I want to talk about all the things with you. I do have some special guests coming up soon in episodes, so we have that to look forward to. Um, I have a trip planned next month, and I've always thought about vlogging, but I'm not sure. Let me know if that's something you guys want me to add on my channel or just kind of talk about on an episode. And what else? What else? I don't know. We out here, we're just vibing. I'm just really happy right now. uh, anyway, I think that's all the tea that I have for this episode. Thank you for letting me share with you my life updates and all of the crazy shenanigans that I do on the daily. As always, go like and subscribe to the podcast, all of my social medias. The video version is always available on YouTube, and this podcast is available anywhere you can listen to podcasts. And that's all the tea for this episode. Bye, guys.